What's up?
Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Hear me all right? Perfect. So I was approached by my husband yesterday afternoon, and he said, hey, will you do a quick training on social media for Masters of Network? And I said, of course, when you want to do it. And he goes, well, when do you have free? And I'm like, 10 a.m. tomorrow. So that's how y'all ended up here. I don't think that I'm any kind of genius with social media whatsoever, but other people tell me that I'm pretty good at it. So you can check out pretty much everything that I'm going to teach you today online, because that's where I learned it from. I learned it from Grant Cardone and Gary Vee. So I actually just took from them. I didn't come up with any of this really stuff. So who am I? I'm Christy Ogle. I am one of the co-founders of Sometimes Spouse, Handyman, and Household Services. And I got started on social media just like you guys did when we started a business. I remember when Facebook came along I remember when Facebook came along, my little brother was in college at NYU, and I said, well, that's creepy. They're going to totally get all of your information. And now everybody's on Facebook and they know everything about us. So I remember the first time that I was introduced to it, it was MySpace back in the day, and I posted like once a year or something like that. But now social media is everywhere. And really with the COVID-19 pandemic, you can still stay relevant. Even if your business is not an essential business, you can still get out there. You can still talk about your products. You can still stay relevant, because what's happening is 99% of the world right now is retracting. They're going into their shell and they're watching Netflix, Joe Exotic, Tiger King, and they're getting fat, and they don't know what to do. They're just retracting. They're not doing anything on social media, or if they are doing something on social media, they're going, please, please buy from me. Please come to my shop, please. And nobody's going to do business with you when you're begging. So there is a true opportunity for everyone with social media right now. I actually didn't decrease my social media. I doubled my social media within the last month. My business, like everyone's, has taken a hit, but I've taken less of a hit than the majority of people. A lot of people in the cleaning and handyman businesses have closed their doors. And Sometimes Spouse is actually surviving and doing really well. March was our best month that we've had in over a year, and COVID-19 hit on March 11th. And I truly believe it's due to our social media presence that we were able to have the best month that we've ever had in over a year and a half, and keep going. So there's so many different forms of social media. You've got Instagram, you have Pinterest, you have TikTok, you have Facebook. Facebook is my favorite, and that's what I'm going to train on primarily today. You've got Twitter, you have Snapchat, you have so many different forms of social media, and the engagement over the last 3 weeks has skyrocketed. 61% of all eyes were on Facebook before this happened, but now the engagement is through the roof on all forms of social media. So Facebook, there's actually 8 billion people in the world. There is 4 billion of them online, and 3 billion of them are on Facebook. So there is a huge number of people that use Facebook, and people of all ages use it. My target market is millennials, and that's where I get probably 80% of my business is from social media, from Facebook. So the other forms of social media, the other big dog is YouTube. There's about 2 billion people on there. I got a YouTube channel. TikTok, 1.5 billion people have downloaded that within the last year and a half. Another huge form of social media. I've been on there just a month and I've got over 100 plus videos on there. Instagram, 1 billion people are on there. LinkedIn, 80 million people. In Twitter, 50 million people. Now you might be going, well, Christy, I don't have a lot of money to put into social media advertising right now. If you have any money, put it into social media advertising, but make sure it's good. And I'm going to teach you how to make it good today. But you don't have to. You can still get massive reach on Facebook, not as big as you could have 2 or 3 years ago before they changed their algorithms. But the 2 best forms of social media to use right now for outreach, and that their algorithm hasn't been specified really yet, that it can still get organically huge reaches, is LinkedIn. Business to business. So if your target market is business to business, LinkedIn is amazing. Post on there over and over and over again. The organic reach is great. You don't really have to pay for the advertising, and LinkedIn advertising is a lot more complicated than Facebook advertising. And the second form that has the biggest organic reach is TikTok. You're going, Christy, that's crazy. There's 14-year-old girls. That's primarily who's on TikTok. Not anymore. Not after the last 2 months. I've seen people get on TikTok that I can't believe are on TikTok in the last month. Dr. Phil, Lisa Reyna. I mean, a lot of older people are starting to get on TikTok, especially with the social isolation. So TikTok also has that organic reach. So even if it is just 14-year-old girls that are using TikTok, who makes the decisions in a household? Mom. Who can influence a decision on mom more than anyone in a household? Daughters. So those 14-year-old girls that are watching you on TikTok going, Mom, you've got to call somebody to clean the house. You got to call the only maid service that is active on Facebook in the world, sometimes spouse right now. Like, you have an opportunity to be the first, because there's not many businesses on TikTok. So if your target market is those moms making decisions in the home, TikTok is one of the places to be. Now, each form of social media is different. Instagram is picture driven. Videos don't do nearly as well on Instagram. I still do put some picture or videos up, but I take those from my TikTok and my Facebook to put them on Insta. LinkedIn, information about businesses and how to help businesses. If I was a financial advisor right now, I would be on LinkedIn every day doing a video, putting up information about the SBA loans, about things that could help businesses right now. How can you talk to your landlord and get your rent lowered for your business? How can you waive your energy bills? I don't even know if you can do this stuff, but if you can't, I would be talking about every financial aspect of a business right now, and it would be me. It would not be pictures of somebody else on social media right now talking about you need to invest for your retirement. No, I would talk about the here and now. You need to put out fires financially. I would be that guy or gal, and I would be talking about that information right now. If I was selling houses or buying houses, I would be talking specifically about, you're in the house, you're realizing 3 kids, a 3-bedroom house, this isn't gonna work for the next 10 years. This is what you need to do to put your house on the market and set yourself up to buy a house in the next 6 months. Those are some things that I would be doing if I was in those specific markets. So And you can utilize that in all the different platforms, but each one is different. And know that Twitter is really driven by news. So that's why Twitter actually had an upkick. I believe Twitter is going to be dead in the next 5 years. I haven't seen Twitter grow in the last few years, but it had an upkick because everybody wants to know what's going on with coronavirus. They want to know what Trump's doing. They want to know how many cases are in each state. So that's why Twitter had a little bit of a jump over the last 6 weeks. But again, it'll go back down after this is over. I truly believe it. But today, my primary focus is Facebook. Facebook is my favorite. Facebook's been my favorite for the last 5 or 6 years. I've used it consistently in all of my different businesses that I've been in. We have a tool shop. We have Sometimes Spouse. We have Sometimes Partners, which is a franchising leg, Sometimes Spouse. I've also been a business coach previously, and we've also had a portable car wash in the past with our children. So I primarily use Facebook to advertise all those different forms. Also, I'm in BNI. We use that primarily. 1 Million Cups, we use Facebook primarily. Yeah, we do have the other forms of social media, but Facebook is really our priority. So don't just use one form of social media, use several forms of social media. Of course, you're going to gravitate towards one that you're better at, but I'm going to primarily focus on Facebook for you all today. Number one, before you do anything, who's your target market? Who is that person that you're going after? You need to know your target market better than you know yourself. You need to know them better than they know themselves. The target market is so important. And if you're going, well, Christy, I am selling popsicles to everyone. No, you're not. When your people come through your popsicle line, there's one person that pops out more than anyone. Moms like me aren't buying popsicles. Dads like Max aren't buying popsicles. He might eat the popsicle after the kid quits eating the popsicle, but primarily a popsicle would go to a specific person. It's probably a child, I'm assuming. I'm not in that business, but the target market would be, you would want to market towards kids with popsicles. Wouldn't work on Facebook. You'd probably want to go on a different form of social media. Or right now, if I had a popsicle stand, Mom and Dad, I'll come to you. We'll use social distancing. I'll drop it off on your door. I'll text you when I'm there. Get your kids some popsicles. So you've got to know who your target market is. If you're a lender, are you a business lender, or do you lend to everybody, other people? The people that come, do you primarily lend to teachers? Do you probably primarily lend to men? Do you primarily lend to women? What are the age groups of the people that you specifically go after? I could do a whole 2 hours on target market, but you have to know who your target market is. And once you sit down and you look at your customers and you think about them, you know primarily who your target market is. I know what my millennials are doing right now. I know where they're sitting. I know what news stations they're going after. I know that they're active. They're still working out in the community, because 5.6% of all of my target market are bicyclists. So they're out there. They're still active. They're not sitting at home necessarily vegging out on Netflix all day. They're still trying to be active with their children. You also need to know, what are the people really looking for? What are your customers looking for? Why are they on social media? Number one, they're stuck at home in social isolation. But if I had somebody that they needed to borrow money, what are they borrowing money for? What do they need? What kind of credit score do they need? How can they fix that? If I would primarily work on the SBA loan right now for businesses. If I was a commercial lender, I would be reaching out to every single business that I know in the area going, do you know how to apply for an SBA loan? Well, I don't think I'm going to need it. Still, you should apply for it. It could be free money for a grant through the government. I don't know this stuff. You have to talk to your financial advisor, your lawyers, and your accountants. I'm just saying that's primarily what I would do. I would be reaching out to those businesses. I would be going on social media, sending them private messages. Did you know this is available for small businesses? I would love to jump on the phone and see if this would be something good for you. First of all, I'd ask them, how are they doing? I open that conversation and start a relationship, but you need to know what the people are looking for. People are still buying and selling houses. People are still borrowing money. People are still breathing. People still need things, and you can take care of that need. I was talking to somebody that was a mortgage lender the other day, and she called every realtor that she'd ever done business with. Hundreds of realtors. One was still working. One was still going after people. Because people are still going to buy and sell houses. It's still going to happen. So what are they looking for? And then find out what they're looking for and then add value. What are they looking for? Are they looking to go and get groceries? Are they looking for restaurants right now are closed down? Max is having to cook all the time in our household. Like, what are they looking for? You can't go to your favorite restaurant now. So I've seen Clay Pot in Waco, Texas do how to make a spring roll at home. If I worked at Chuy's, I'd be like, you can't get here to get your creamy jalapeno fix. Let us show you how to make the creamy jalapeno at home. But Christy, oh my God, are they just gonna make the creamy jalapeno at home and not come to Chuy's anymore? No, because that's not the only reason they're coming to Chuy's. They're coming there for the atmosphere. They're coming there for the people. They're coming there for the people that they know. I go there because Tracy's my waitress and she takes care of me every single time that I go. Just because they put the creamy jalapeno recipe, which is very difficult to make, by the way. It's much easier just to go there and sit and order it and they bring it to you. They would be adding value. Nympha's closed in Waco this week because the to-go orders just wasn't enough for their cash flow. I'd be teaching people how to make homemade tortillas. You have to add value and talk about some of the things that are going on currently in the world and be like, I know it stinks, but you add more value. At Sometimes Spouse, I've showed how to sanitize one a day thing in your house. I've been doing it for 2 weeks. I'm getting ready to start a new series with Max today, how to use WD-40 in your house. Yeah, Max, you're gonna be on video. So how can you add value? And if you don't like doing videos, take pictures, write a blog, do something to add more value to your customers because they're sitting at home right now totally freaked out and they don't know what to do. And if you come in there and you help them, you're adding value. They're gonna remember you instead of the person that was on Facebook going, please come to my business so I can survive. Don't sell to your customers all the time. I actually have a social media calendar for every single day. 7 a.m. I do this, 8 a.m. I do this, 7 a.m. I'm good morning. 8 a.m. is my deep thoughts with Christy Ogle. 3 o'clock, usually a podcast around that time, if my schedule allows. And then 4 o'clock is my sanitization tip of the day. What can you do to add value? And then once a day, I'll sneak in, hey, we've got a sanitization clean for $99. Or hey, we've got a deep clean, but when you buy the deep clean from Sometimes Spouse, you also get a sanitization clean for free. And then I add 2 more value adds, $100 off your deep clean. And then I also add another value add where I'll give you $100 in gift cards to give your friends and family after this is all over. So even though I'm selling a little bit, I'm dabbling, I'm still adding more value. Like, I care enough about you. I want you to make money. I want you to save money. I want you to be able to give these to your friends and family. I want your family to help flatten the curve. I'm adding value no matter if I'm selling or not. But here's a mistake that people make is they sell, and that's why they don't have engagements on their Facebook pages. You have to add value 85% of the time and only sell 15% of the time. So do not sell all of the time. It does not work. You have to add value to your customer. How do you add value? Well, you are the brand. Whoever you are the brand. Max and I are the Sometimes Spouse brand. We add our lives into our social media on Facebook, TikTok. If you watch any of our different channels, you know it's Max and I, or Max and then I. And then I also have my children and my dogs in it because we are the brand. You want to post often. So the algorithms of Facebook have changed over the years. And when I post at 7 a.m., it's different than the people that see it at 8 a.m. So unless they're raving fans, which I've got a couple of raving fans on here, Bonnie and Christina, I see them liking my stuff all the time. I don't know if they go to my page and like it, but the Facebook algorithm sends it to different groups of people. So have I had people tell me I post too much? Yes. Unfollow me. Unfriend me. If you don't like it, get off, because that's not my target market. My target market is to create raving fans. That's what I want to do. I want to anticipate their needs and take care of their needs before they even can think of them themselves. There's actually 3 different forms of a relationship. One of them is a selfish relationship where I need to make money, so I'm going to sell to you. The second form of a relationship is a mutual relationship, and 95% of all businesses are here, where you need me to take care of your need and I need money to sell to you. So we both get something out of this. Now, the third and most special kind of relationship in business or any part of life is the one where you anticipate the needs of your client. My husband, Max Ogle, and I ride to work together sometimes. I always, this time of year, love to wear open-toed shoes, but we have 3 kids that drive cars, so sometimes my car will end up in the grass. And I hate getting my toes wet on the dewy grass on a spring morning. So one day I walked out of the car and I was like, oh, I need to put a towel in the car because I hate getting my toes wet from the dew on the grass because of my open-toed shoes. And Max goes, yeah, we could do that. We could put a towel in the car. The next day I go out to the car to get ready to come to work because he drives, and the car had been backed in. I said, Max, did you move the car around? He goes, yeah. He goes, you don't like getting your toes wet. He went to that third and most special form of the relationship. He anticipated my needs. He didn't want me to get upset about getting my toes wet and have to towel them off. So he just turned the car around. So you as a business owner, can you anticipate the needs of your clients, of your customers? What do they need? What do they need right now? Add value. Talk to whatever it is that they need. Talk about things that are going on in their lives right now. Homeschooling your children. My kids have been suspended 3 different times in the last week. They keep coming back, but I don't know if I get rid of them. Add value about that. Max and I did a podcast yesterday on stress with kiddos because everybody's stressed out right now, but let's talk about your kids having stress. Am I a psychologist? No, by no means. And I do mention that in my podcast and lives. But there was just 5 or 10 quick facts of what to do with your kiddos during this time. Also, we've had a podcast about how to, when you're doing isolation and shelter in place, how you can still have fun with your family, like 5 or 10 different tips to still have fun with your family. You want to talk about these things, but you do want to be yourself. When you see me on social media, that's me. Matthew Boudreau on this call knows me, and he knows that I am just crazy like that, and I do things that you're just crazy. Yesterday I had some Joe exotic teeth I was wearing in all my lives and all my videos. Like, that's me. You see Max and I's relationship on social media, that's us. That's how we play off of each other. Nothing is acting or unreal. This is how we are. We're very real. We've went through the ups and downs of our business on social media, and people actually know us. That's who we are. I went to a conference in Dallas a few weeks ago when social isolation wasn't a thing, or social distancing. And people from Canada came up to me and they're like, Christy Ogle. They watched me on social media. I had 20 people out of 200 that were my raving fans that I didn't even know that kept coming up to me and saying, hey, I love what you do, blah, 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 blah. We've watched your stuff. That's cool. And that they knew me from watching me on social media, because I'm not on TV or anything like that. It's just me on social media talking about my family, my life, and my brand. And you want to have fun with it. Enjoy it. I love TikTok because I get to be funny and cut up with it. Anybody that comes in my office now, I'm like, we're going to pop your TikTok cherry. Let's do it. Like, and they're like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, just be yourself. Listen to the music and dance. So you want to have fun with it. You want to think about your customer. This is the most important thing when you're posting on social media. You want to talk about their fears. You want to talk about what they're going through. You want to talk about and solve their issues, some possible resolutions. Well, this is what you can do. This is what you can do. This is a different way to look at that. But talk about issues that they are going through right now. So talk about the shelter in place. Talk about how your business is an essential business if it is. You want to make sure and talk about relevant things. It's not relevant for me to talk about spring cleaning right now, even though it's spring cleaning time for a house, because everybody's at home. Some people will do their own spring cleanings. So I need to talk about deep cleans and sanitization cleans and move in, move out cleans right now on the maid service side. And then on the handyman service side, I want to talk about them getting outdoors, outside of the house. So I'm promoting things that they can do outdoors and work that we can do outdoors with the social distancing. So you want to talk about things that are relevant to your people. I wouldn't want to be talking about painting a house, the interior of a house right now. I just wouldn't want to do that because people don't want you in their houses because of what's going on. So you want to talk about their issues that they're actually having in real time, what's going on. So you don't want to talk about have stuff posted out a month like the market's good, rates are good, you could sell your, like, that's not relevant in today's market. You want to make it relevant in today's market, and then you want to do it over and over and over and over again. What did I say? You want to do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Why, Christy? They're not going to want to see the same things over and over and over again. Same people aren't seeing it. The algorithm of Facebook has changed. You talk about it over and over and over and over again so the customers will realize that you're still there. You're still adding value. You're not selling to them every time, remember. You're adding value, but you're doing the same things over and over and over again. So when a Super Bowl commercial plays, I can't think of one this year that was really great and knocked it out of the ballpark, but one a couple of years ago, Puppy Monkey Baby. I think it was a Doritos commercial. They had this puppy monkey baby, like monster, all together, and how he was eating Doritos. And I hope it was Doritos. I think it was. Was it Max? Doritos? Yeah, it was either Doritos or Taco Bell. Those run together for me. So they have the puppy monkey baby. Did they run that commercial once? No. It's still running today. I saw it the other day on TV. When McDonald's or Starbucks or Walmart has an amazing ad, do they just jab you with it once? No. They jab it, 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 and then they hit you with the right hook, right? they hit you with it over and over and over and over and over and over again. So that's one important thing about social media. You just say it in a little bit of a different fashion. And you do it over and over and over again. You'll see ads that I ran 5 years ago on the television. Now I don't run ads on television or radio. I run them on social media. I actually have people that have media companies in Waco within the last 3 weeks that have started following me on Instagram and Facebook. I also had somebody come on my Facebook page from a radio station the other day that said, hey, we've cut our prices by 50%. You want to come on one of my ads that I was running on Facebook? No, not necessarily, but thank you for the offer. It shows me my advertising's working if you're begging for me, my advertising dollars on my Facebook page, but thank you. So you do want to add value and do it over and over and over again. I get off on tangents, sorry guys. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You have to show how much you care and how much value add. You could be scared to death with everything that's going on in today's society, but when you get on social media, you have to have a clear, level head, and you have to portray that confidence, because people don't want to do business with people that are scared to death. You have to portray that confidence. If you have to, do 20 jumping jacks before you get on social media and do a live video. If you have to, I used to do 20 push-ups before I would get on and do a live. I used to be nervous too, even though now I just do it all of the time. But I'm going to take you guys over to see Sometimes Spouses social media pages. So I'm going to stop the share for a moment. New share. Let's do it here. Can you guys see my screen now? Can you see my Facebook screen? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to show you what I do. Videos are much better on Facebook. So as you can see, I do a lot of videos. This was my deep thoughts of the day this morning. This was my sanitization yesterday afternoon, evening. I got a little bit behind yesterday. My page is engaging. When you look into it, it looks fun. It's not just blah stuff. I have a giveaway that I post about every day. There's me and the Joe Exotic teeth that had social distancing with those teeth. They were about 6 feet apart. Max and I doing our podcast. We did our podcast and we do it live every time we do it. So that was on there. I update when I book deep cleans on my social media page, about half of them. There's my BNI group. As you can see, there's Boudreaux right there. So I am very active. So different things go to different people, but I'm saying the same thing over and over again. I had a book, a deep clean. Here's another book of a deep clean right there, but just with a different picture. Building stuff outside, she sheds. Somebody got me some alcohol yesterday for our cleaning products. I was pretty excited about that. And then there's a TikTok me and my daughter did yesterday. We've never done a TikTok together, so we're dancing together. So how can you add value? I also advertise other businesses that I've known for a long time and I trust in the area. Camp Gladiator has pivoted their business model totally in the last couple weeks, which is amazing. You have to pivot your business in these times. And then Deep Thoughts. So you want to do videos on Facebook once or twice a day. You want to post, you can post memes that freaking Tiger King is insane right now, and everybody's watched it. It's been #1 since last week when it came out. Yeah, Tiger King just came out last week. Can you believe it? Like, if it wasn't a pandemic, that never would have been a hit. But it got stranger and stranger and stranger with every video. Totally love it. Carol Baskin's the one that released the coronavirus on everyone. And then other things I'm involved in, I put on my social media page. So just adding more value every day. As you can see, I haven't sold anything. I'm adding values. you'd have to go down pretty far for me to be selling. It's probably an ad I ran at the first of the week. I'm just adding value. I do it on my personal page and I do it on my sometimes spouse pages. So yes, I do post things on my personal page because I'm adding value. And then every so once in a while, oh, here's the sell. And of course I did use Carol Baskin. Help to flatten the curve. So as you saw, there was 10 or 20 or more adding value, and then there's one sell there. And as you can see, I get tons of engagement on my posts. Some are better at different times of the day. Videos, as you can see, are much better than memes or just putting the things up. So these are just a couple of tips for your social media page. So I know this was kind of general, but I do want to open it up for any kind of questions that you might have.
So Christy, I wanted to find out more about, like, I already run Facebook ads, but I haven't done it in a little while, and I am gonna do, like what you were talking about. So I think I saw it somewhere else. Facebook ads are a lot cheaper right now because so many people have backed out from spending. So doubling that up, but what does that look like in the ad? Like, you don't necessarily want to sell something. So what do you recommend in an ad to double up on?
My ads, I'm selling something.
Your ads are selling something?
My ads are usually have a call to action of some sort. I'm putting out enough content, Bonnie, that I can have some ads. So I have 5 ads running right now. 2 of them are for cleaning, 2 of them are for handyman. I think 3 of them are for cleaning and 2 are for handyman right now. So the ads, I want to talk specifically to that. So your ads want to stop their scroll. So my ads are videos of me holding stuff up right now, of a sanitization clean, that kind of stuff. I want to stop their scroll like, ooh, what are they doing? So if you were doing your nails, right now, this is the ad that I would run. I would run a picture with some ugly nails right now. Like, is this what you're starting to look like? I've got your solution. Like something like that, something with butt ugly nails that stops their scroll. Or if I'm selling a house right now, I would talk about some major issues that happened in Central Texas with houses that they might not have realized until they were on this quarantine. Maybe they've started to get cracks in their wall, or that they've realized the house isn't big enough. So I'd have a picture of parents frustrated with kids. I don't know who your target market is, but whatever your target market is, I would talk about those issues and have something shocking that stops their scroll. Because when you think about it, when you're going through Facebook, what's going to stop your scroll? And you want to think about, how am I going to stop my customer scroll? So when you're paying for advertising, you want something that's going to stop their scroll. Good question. Did that answer it?
I think so, yeah.
And you're right. I'm going to speak one more thing to it. Most people are retracting. People think that they're not going to spend money on social media because they're scared. But you have to spend money now if you can. But there is ways to get social media out there without putting money. One's the marketplace. 2 is groups. You can share your information in groups, only 5 a day because you'll get Facebook spanked. There's lots of different ways your content that you put out reaches different people. So I am pro ads right now. Ads are amazing on social media, Facebook and Instagram. I'm utilizing both. But you've got to stop their scroll, because most people are putting stuff up there that's like, hello, we've got great rates for mortgage right now. Let me tell you about the rates. Blah, 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 blah. That's not going to stop my scroll. I look at that stuff so I can educate people on how not to do that. Nobody's going to watch that. What they care about is, I got a mortgage. I lost my job. How am I going to pay for it? Got to stop their scroll. All right.
So I have one more question, Christy.
Okay.
What do you think is the minimum like that should be spent right now on Facebook ads?
I've seen content get some traction with $25. I personally spend several $100s every single week on Facebook. Normally, I doubled it when this happened. And I have sales that were higher than we've ever had in a year and a half. So that told me I wasn't spending enough on Facebook ads. So when this is over, I'm probably going to double it again because I want to survive and thrive what's going on. And you can, it depends on your market. I'm assuming no realtors from what I've heard, because realtors really aren't doing business right now. I'm assuming that none of them are marketing on Facebook. And if they are, it's that boring stuff that we were talking about, right? If you stop their scroll and you spend 50 or $100 on it, I say, try 2 ads, have an A and B ad, see which one works better. And then you put money into them, but also share them in groups. If you can, put it on the marketplace. Yours is a little different. I don't know if it falls under that financial services category and credit. That's where you are a little different than what I can advise on.
Can you mess up a live?
Yep. Max does it all the time.
What happens?
You just delete it.
You just delete it and you do
I have
another.
a post here that I just put up some stuff I was kind of ranting about, and it has this little delete button, and you just delete it and it goes off of Facebook forever.
So you really can't mess up. You can always redo them.
No, you can always redo it. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. Nobody wants perfect. I'm not going to watch somebody that's perfect. Gary Z, or Gary V, who I follow all the time, one of his people put a head on a turtle yesterday, and it wasn't perfect. It looked kind of stupid, but I watched it. I like seeing them mess up. I like seeing real people. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to shoot it 20 different times. Sometimes I have to do a reshoot with Max because he's off in Max land. But very seldom do I ever do reshoots. I want people to see the real me. I don't want them to think I'm perfect and amazing. I want to see them. I cuss sometimes, and that slips out sometimes. Christy, you're a family first business. Well, my kids have heard it their entire lives. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look perfect. Perfection is the enemy of profitability. Good question, Max. Any other questions?
So I just wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying, Christy, and to kind of answer Bonnie's question. So I have never purchased ads for myself. And for the first time ever, I said, oh, this is like the stock market dropping, right? So I know that I can get them really cheap. I hired somebody who knows how to do them, who has great reviews, somebody I've been kind of thinking about and watching for a long time. And then I said, well, this is the opportunity to pull the trigger. I'll tell you, in 2 days, I had 9 leads at less than $5.
Wow.
Like 2 days. And that's in real estate. So
That's
I don't know
amazing.
if you know, but real estate leads are expensive, rightfully so.
Yeah. Wow. That is great return on your investment.
It is.
Imagine what would happen if you put $100 in.
Oh, I know. Oh gosh, yeah. No, I mean, that's what the return has been. I have it set for, you set your amount. I have it set for 25 a day. It's only spending a handful, but yeah, it works out.
That's
It's working
amazing.
out really well. So Bonnie, if you need, I'll connect you privately with that person. But it sounds like Christy might do that too, right? Maybe somebody in this group, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to help anybody out that needs help. You can send me your ad and go, Christy, would this stop your scroll? I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. And people have sent me their ads, and I don't use the word please. The top five words to use in ads are get, your, free, are, and now. Call now, text now, get your free evaluation. It's great when you work all 5 into it.
Hey, Christy, I have a question.
Okay.
So tell me, how do you feel about paying people to do ads for you? And also, how did you learn your information?
So this is how I feel about people running ads for me, because I've done it. I spent $100,000 in 1 year on television advertising, and I spent $75,000 1 year in radio advertising. I think it helped build the brand in the Waco, Texas area, but they didn't know what I wanted and they never got it exactly. So I feel like paying somebody to run your ads is like having somebody else run your sex life. It's no fun. Like, nobody knows your business like you do. Well, Christy, I just don't know what to say. You can figure out what to say. You can go and listen to a guru in your business because somebody's done what you want to do before, and you can change the words like you're saying it. So, Grant Cardone, 10X Rule, is where I started dabbling into marketing. I've always liked it, but I fell in love with it with the 10X Rule, and he sends me to Russell Brunson, who runs ClickFunnels, who then sends me to Gary Vee, who has this amazing social media presence, who then sends me to this person, then sends me to that person. So it really depends on your market. In real estate, Dean Graziosi is a big person. He's partners with Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson, Pete Vargas, lots of people that are in the categories that y'all are in that I know that are on this call. So if you need like a couple of books, couple of ideas, shoot me a message on Facebook. I am not that busy of a person. So like everybody thinks that I'm just crazy busy. I use a certain system. Why are you shaking your head, Max?
Because you're not busy.
No, I use a system for time management and I block things out. So, I mean, if you email me, if you calling me is probably not best. If you email me or if you Facebook message me, that's how you're going to get a hold of me, because that's where I'm at all the time. It's just how I am. So if you have questions, just shoot them to me. If you want me to look at your ad, let me look at your ad. Or if you want ideas on books in your area to read, because you don't know who's done amazing things, let me know. Financial services, Ray Dalio. Tony Robbins wrote a book interviewing all the financial geniuses about 5 or 6 years ago. It's called Unbreakable. Real estate, Gary Keller, I think's his name. Amazing books on real estate. Maybe he's from a competitor. Who cares? He built this, kind of empire with real estate in the state of Texas because he's from Austin. That's where it kind of began. Read books by him. I've read his books and I just transform them to his ideas that I like to the handyman and household cleaning business. So all you have to do is take out whatever theirs is. Grant Cardone, amazing real estate guy. Take out whatever their service is and plug yours in. Gary Vee, who's a big mentor of mine, I've never met him, but I follow everything he does. He built a wine business. He built it from $1 million business to a $2 million business for his dad. Now he's building an advertising business. So I just take out his things and put in Sometimes Spouse.
To help with that, the same thing that Christy had just mentioned, I want to say that ads are mostly supplemental, at least the ones that you pay for, right? They're mostly supplemental and generic. So the idea is that you're capturing people for the paid ads. You're capturing people that you wouldn't, that are like for real estate, that are on Zillow or Realtor.com. It's all those people. So they're not your target market. What Christy's teaching, obviously, is going to be way, way better for capturing the people that you want to have a direct connection with.
Yes. People that are your target market that maybe aren't in your, aren't your raving fans yet. That's really who you're going after. So when you target on I'm glad you kind of brought this up. So when you go onto Facebook to market, you want to go after your target market. You don't want to go after everyone. So right now, I would stay away from the middle class and below. I would go after the upper middle class and the upper class when I'm going on social media. But my target market, I also want to know, what are they interested in? Am I going after business to business? Then I need to go after business page managers on my marketing with Facebook. So it's getting those people that maybe you haven't reached before.
That's a really good point. So in real estate, Bonnie and I were just on a meeting earlier, and one of our lenders was talking about how now the criteria to get approved to buy a house is more difficult, right? It's a more stringent criteria. So now what would have been middle class, it has to be upper middle class. Just to your point, it's hilarious. I mean,
because the middle class
the
isn't
way
gonna
things
have
are
any
changing
money.
so rapidly.
So it would, how easy would it be for you or Bonnie or any other realtor to go in there and tell people that, make that alive? Hey, you have to, this is what the parameters are of buying a house. These are the people that are getting approved. You could make an ad just like that, or just a Facebook Live like that, telling people that, hey, it's a little tougher right now. This is what you need to do. And then that could tie in with a financial person, like you guys could do a live together. So it could be something really informative.
Yeah, imagine if you two tag teamed. Yeah, on a live or a Zoom, and then you pulled it into Facebook, something like that, to talk about, like, you're sitting around the house, you decided it's time to sell your house, you need some extra cash. Blah, 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 blah. And it depends. If you're a selling agent, that's what I would go after. If you're and I don't know you guys' verbiage, a buying agent, buyer, seller, I don't know, Bonnie and Ian. I don't know. Like, if you're wanting to buy a house now, these are the things, the stipulations have changed, blah, 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 blah. This is what you need. You need a credit score of 640 now. We've raised that, blah, 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 blah. That kind of stuff, because people will still be interested in buying and selling houses.
Absolutely, and we're in different markets, so it's a perfect opportunity for us to work together. Any realtors or anybody in any industry that doesn't overlap, or even that does. You have all these different niches and expertise in your field. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there. Yeah,
I'm doing a podcast on Friday with a trainer, a fitness trainer, because I have Ask an Expert that I do every Friday. So I'm totally crossing, like, something that doesn't even compliment sometime spouse, but I do know that sometimes spouse, that like 15% of our people are physically active. So that's going to get out to those people and know I'm anticipating their needs. They're all sitting at home eating cookies and cake and getting fat and happy. You need to get out. You need to move. So you can think about that with your target market too. Have those analytics that you can pull from and see what your people are interested in.
Christy, to touch on that point, so of course in finance, I can't say I want everybody with an 800 credit score.
Yep.
Can you give us some tips on, if we're in this type of market where can you give us some tips on how to find our market? Like, what do we look for? Do we look for how much money they spend, or what they're buying, or?
Yeah, so your target market, people with an 800 credit score, where do they live? What are they doing when they're on this kind of self-quarantine? So with Facebook, you can get you with the credit side. You can't go, I want people with an 800 credit score. Thank you, United States government, that took that away from our Facebook advertising about 2 years ago. It was amazing until that time, because you could choose my credit score. So Christina, what are they doing? What zip codes do they live in? Are they in, so I know Waco. So are they in East Waco? Is that where they live? Or are they living in Woodway, Lorena, China Spring? They're probably not living in Elmont. They're probably not living in Belmead. That you can go after those specific kind of zip codes. And I don't know on your side if you can still go after the top incomes.
No.
You can't. See, I can. So your credit's a little bit different. So think about those zip codes. That's something that you could go around. Also, do they own businesses? What kind of fields of work are they in? Are they nurses? Are they doctors? Because you can go after those specific things on Facebook too, after their professions. So there's a way to kind of get around going after that top 10, 15% of people.
Christina, I think what Christy's talking about is picking those groups when you run an ad, not actually putting that in your ad that I need someone
Right.
that makes over 150,000. But when you go through and run an ad, it may let you choose, people that make over $100,000, and you're not really going to put that in your ad, but those are the people that you are targeting with your ad.
Yeah, with Facebook, she can't go after those top percentages of incomes, but she can go after where they're at.
You can go after country clubs, you can go after school districts, you can go after religious affiliations that might, I'll say the word tithe more than some others. There are a lot of keys you can use. I'm going to share. And Christy, have you used the target persona on HubSpot at all? I don't know if anybody's ever.
I have.
Okay, I'm going to just paste that in the chat, but they have like just a template you can download. It's free, and it'll help you like understand how to get your target market. And then from there, you go into Facebook and I think Felicia mentioned she can help you, or Christy can help you just tie in those categories in the Facebook ad platform, ad manager.
So, Christina, do you have a customer database that you keep?
Yes.
Okay, so I would probably look at all of those zip codes, because there's going to be more people that come from 2 or 3 zip codes, and then you're going to be kind of sporadic with the rest of them.
Right.
Any other questions?
Probably, but I can't think of them.
Well, if you guys have any questions, you can email me at Christy@sometimespouse.com. You can also Facebook message me, or you can get a hold of me through Max. I think I know most of you on social media, but definitely if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out.
Thank you, Christy.
You're welcome. You guys have an amazing day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
It won't let me leave. Okay, there I am.